Well. What do we have here? If you haven't been paying attention, it's been a whirlwind of the past 2 days when it comes to Turkey. I haven't made a video in a couple days just because there wasn't a ton coming out. There was a few little snippets here and there of just people claiming war crimes and stuff like that, which possibly could have happened, and almost assuredly did. When you're dealing with war in the Middle East, it's almost always the norm. But good news has come out. First, starting with this letter, which the letter itself, I don't know if I'd call good news, because I don't know if there's any way I'd write a letter like this. But I'm going to get to the point of the video. But first, I'm going to read the letter. This is a letter from Trump to Mr. Erdogan, the president of the Republic of Turkey. Dear Mr. President, let's work out a good deal. This is coming off the heels of the Turkish offensive. You don't want to be responsible for slaughtering thousands of people, and I don't want to be responsible for destroying the Turkish economy, and I will. So he's following up on the threats that he will put massive sanctions on Turkey if they continue with their offensive. I've already given you a little sample of with respect to Pastor Brunson. I have worked hard to solve some of your problems. Don't let the world down. You can make a great deal. General Mazlum is willing to negotiate with you, and he's willing to make concessions that they would have never made in the past. I am confidentially enclosing a copy of his letter to me, just received. History will look upon you favorably if you get this done the right and humane way. It will look upon you forever as the devil if good things don't happen. Don't be a tough guy. Don't be a fool. I will call you later. Sincerely. You can't read Trump's signature, but that's from Trump. And that's a harsh letter. And it's worded exactly how you would believe President Trump would write that letter. So this isn't fake. This is like, when it first came out, I was like, hey, that ain't real. There's no way. But it's 100% real. And it shows you exactly what we believe is how the president's brain works. But as you can tell, I'm actually excited about the way this all turned out, because this is one of the few things I think Trump continues to get right is the foreign policy. This is the direction that the United States should have been going a long time ago. Pulling out of these areas, using massive sanctions to get what we want and get what we need to help get peace. I'm tired of sending our troops places we don't need to be, and I'm tired of spending the money. But this is the way to go, and this is, for everything you want to say about Trump, if there's one thing he's gotten right, it's this stuff. You can call him, bombastic, and I don't know. If you read this letter, he's not the easiest person to talk to, and a lot of foreign leaders see him as very, very abrasive. But he's getting it done, and I'm not gonna fault the man for that. And he's doing a good job. So, what came of this? It is the 17th now, and they made a deal. This deal could have never been made 3 days ago. There needed to be some tough love in order to get it done. Great for everybody. Proud of all by Mr. Trump. This is a tweet. This is a picture he sent Mr. Pence over to Turkey. I believe it was in Turkey. I forget exactly where they went to get the deal done, but he basically went there. They had about a 4-hour meeting. And let me read the article. This is by Reuters. Pence says Turkey, U.S. agreed to ceasefire in northeast Syria. Turkey has agreed to a 5-day ceasefire in northeast Syria to allow for withdrawal of Kurdish forces, U.S. Vice President Mike Pence said on Thursday after talks with Turkish President Mr. Erdogan. Today, the United States and Turkey have agreed to a ceasefire in Syria, Pence told a news conference after more than 4 hours of talks at the presidential palace in Ankara. Yeah, so that's in Turkey. Pence has flown to Turkey to call for a halt to Turkey's cross-border military operations called Operation Peace Spring, under which Turkey has aimed to clear YPG Syrian Kurdish fighters from a 20-mile deep safe zone along the border. The Turkish side will pause Operation Peace Spring in order to allow for the withdrawal of YPG forces from the safe zone for 120 hours or 5 days. All military operations under Operation Peace Spring will be paused, and Operation Peace Spring will be halted entirely upon completion of withdrawal. So, this is big news, because when you first read the headlines, a lot of these people like ABC and I don't. That's one of the big ones. There was a couple of them that I read are just saying it's a 5-day peace, or ceasefire, but it's not. This is big. If Trump gets this done and they get the Kurdish fighters out of here and out of the safe zone, which is what they had planned in the beginning, so he's getting a lot of criticism for that. For this whole the offensive has already started and the damage has been done. This was going to be done regardless of what would happen. They were planning for this buffer zone for a long time to resettle a lot of Syrians and put up the border with a little buffer zone there. This has been planned the whole time. Before the Turkish operation started, before we left, this was in negotiations. So we got the 5-day pause so the Kurds can get out and we can stop the fighting. And he got the buffer zone and he got a lasting peace. I mean, what more do you want? You can criticize Trump all you want. You can criticize the way we got out of there. I supported from the second that we were going to leave. Regardless of if this had never happened and Turkey wanted to keep going with their offensive, look, that's just the way things are. But when you can negotiate, Trump felt the pressure that he needed to do something about it. He promised sanctions. That's a problem that we had with Obama, where he would promise, here's the red line, and we're never gonna let you cross it. There are gonna be grave consequences if it does, and then nothing happens. No, what happened with Trump was they did the offensive. They went too far. They like the reports said, they had committed some crimes that they shouldn't have been doing. And as soon as they did, Trump said, no, it's got to stop here. And he made a deal that was beneficial to them. It wasn't. He gave them a little bit extra, which was the buffer zone. I think the original buffer zone was a little bit smaller than this, but it's the full buffer zone. He promised the full buffer zone, and we're not going to put the sanctions on them, which would have crushed the Turkish military and crushed the Turkish economy. So, as you can tell, I'm very pleased with this. Anything that we don't have to involve our own men and women is a big deal. And I'd like to know what you guys think about this. I tried to get this out as fast as possible because I believe this is breaking news, and this is a big deal. Tell me what you guys think. It's crazy how people can still criticize this. Even today, when this was first announced, the Warhawk liberals, which is weird, you would think that's not what the case would be, because for years and years they talk about how the Republicans are all just war-hungry madmen, but you've got the House of Representatives just yesterday voting for a resolution that they want Trump to get involved in a war again with Turkey and go back to Syria. Like, it's insanity. It just shows how involved all of the old politicians who are just ingrained. They're just a bunch of war hawks, and it's ridiculous. They're emotional and they're stupid. It's insane. When did the Republicans become the party of peace? And I don't mean the old ones. I mean the new Republicans, because a lot of like I said, the old ones. If this was John McCain's Republicans, which many of them still are, they'd have been gone to. They'd vote to go back to Syria in a second. So anyway, that's the video, short and sweet. Tell me what you guys think. Thank you.
My name is Gavin Lee, and this is my channel, LeeCast. Thanks for watching. I put out videos most days on current events, politics, and more. Please subscribe and give me advice on more what you'd like to see, and help me build this channel into not only a source for all things political and current for you, but also a place less polarized by political insanity. A whole lot more common sense and discussion, and a lot less two-party bias. Subscribe below and comment on what you'd like to see. Thank you.